Hey guys, welcome back if you're new here. I am Rebecca. And I originally created this channel as a way to share my crafts with the world. But since I started it, things just kind of went sideways and it ended up being more of like a chit chat and crochet type vibe. So that's what we're doing tonight. Sorry, I just had to move some heavy packages off the porch, so I'm a little out of breath. It's okay, we're fine. Anyway, so had quite a lot happen since last time we spoke, and the last time we spoke, it was a stressful day. It was actually just a short, it wasn't a full video, because it was a stressful day. That was a day when Microsoft went haywire. Computers weren't working, and it's a whole CrowdStrike issue. My computer, unfortunately, was one of those that were messed with, and so I didn't get to work at all that day because I couldn't do anything. And by the time I got into my computer, it was 8 o'clock at night, and I didn't want to work all night, and I couldn't work on Saturday because we had something going on, so I had to just take PTO time. Like, I can't do that, so it's okay. Anyways, hang on, I gotta text Wes and let him know that I accepted his packages for him. So I know he was stressed about those not arriving. They should have hours ago. Yeah, so his notification said they were due at noon, from 10 to noon. It is now 5 p.m. and we just got them. But it's okay. I'm not complaining. She said she was new, and I completely understand. She's got to learn somehow, so that's fine. Anyways, so back to my story. Let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so that happened with a whole CrowdStrike issue, and then we had an entire week full of events, led to a lot of late nights at work, and it became one of those stressful weeks. Kind of fun, but kind of also super stressful. So I'm not going to get into what we were doing. It was just working. And but while I was helping him work, or working with him, I ended up finishing my version of the Taylor Swift dress. Now mine is different. Of course, mine has prettier colors. Let's just say it that way. Mine is mostly white because I wanted lighter colors. I didn't want all that darkness because I didn't like that. Like, hers was just too orange. Too orange. Too dark. For my taste. So, sorry. I got a yarn knot. So, I'm going to try to unknot this as I go so I don't end up with this giant disaster when I finish my pumpkin. Not my pattern. I found it on Pinterest as I was scrolling and was like, hey, that is kind of cute. Why don't we try that? So that's what I'm doing. So I ended up making my version of the dress. I made mine different than anybody else's I've ever seen because 2 reasons. So I added pockets because I hate it now when I go put on a dress and it doesn't have pockets. I want pockets. So I made myself pockets. Added those. Then I didn't want it to be long sleeve all the time. So I'm like, if it's summer, I'm going to want to be able to wear it without burning up. In the spring, it could go both ways. In the fall, it could go both ways. Because in the fall, it's cold in the morning, hot or very warm in the evenings, or in the day, and then it's cold at night. So I'd like to be able to take the sleeves off or put them back on when I need them. So haven't finished this part yet because I realized I had to prepare for my craft fair. Like, heavily prepare. But I am making my sleeves removable by adding snap buttons to both the dress and to the sleeves. And like I said, I haven't got that done yet because I realized that it is already after August 1st. And my craft fair is August 31st, or so I thought. Needs to be to my next story. So, the other day I reached out to the event directors or event people that's over the craft fair that I applied for way back in January. It was snowing outside and I was stuck inside working, which I work from home, so that was fine. But I was like, I want to do a craft fair this year. Wes was like, okay, sign up for one, we'll do it. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, do it. I have fun. And so I was like, okay. So, which, yes, I wanted to do one anyways, but having his support there means the world to me. Knowing that he wants to do it with me means everything to me. I've never had that before I met him, and now I have his support, and that just means so much, you know? Anyways, so I found this one. They were already accepting applications back in January. So I found it, I applied. It's not that far away. I actually sent him an email or a text because he was at work when I found it, and I was like, hey, how far is it to drive for a craft fair? Like, what is the reasonable amount for you to drive? And he's like, why? Where is it at? And I was like, well, it's in Burgoynesville. He's like, oh, that's fine. It's not too far away. I'm like, are you sure it's good? He's like, yeah, it's fine. It's like in between here and Rogersville. And I'm like, okay. Because where I grew up, Burgoynesville was over an hour away. So I'm like, okay, I gotta take 30 minutes off. So I guess it's probably less than an hour, maybe an hour with traffic. I'm not really sure. I don't time it when he's driving. I just let him do the driving and I just chill and relax beside of him and enjoy the view. So that's typically how it goes. When Wes is driving, I'm not really paying that much attention to where we're at or where we're going and stuff like that. Because I trust him. So anyways, so I applied for this one. And then the closer it got, the more I was like, I don't know what time we can be there to set up or anything. So I reached out to the people who were over it the other day. I don't know if it was yesterday or last week, but it was recent. Okay. It was recent. And so I reached out and I was like, explaining I applied and paid back in January for this craft fair in August. And I was just, wondering about when we can come and set up. And they said, okay, so on Friday, setup is from 10 to 3. Craft fair is from 4 to 10 p.m. Then on Saturday, setup is from 10 to 12. Technically, it's 11:30 because they want you done by at least 11:30, 11:45-ish. And the craft fair starts at 12 noon and goes until 10 p.m. There are fireworks afterwards. It's like a festival, so I'm so excited about this because this is the first 2-day craft fair I've done. Also a little worried about it because I don't know if I have enough stuff. Sorry. Sorry, texting and realized that I have a headache too, so I didn't know how to spell. Somehow everything turned into delivery thing. I don't know. It's okay. I'm fine. Anyways, so it's my first 2-day event that I've done. So I'm a little nervous about leaving, stuff overnight or not having enough stuff for both days, and I'm freaking out about that. But then I'm also like trying to calm myself down because I'm like, if I stress about it now, I'm gonna give myself chronic migraines, even worse. So I'm like, calm down. You can't do this to yourself, So anyways, I was freaking out about it being a 2-day thing, and I was like, oh no, what? So I texted Wes and I was like, hey, by the way, our craft fair is on Friday the 30th as well. And his response blew me away. Like, his response was just like perfect thing that I needed. And he was like, great, I'm excited. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I'm excited, let's do it. I'm like, okay, sure. Like, if it works for you, it works for me. What else? But that's the thing. He wants to do this with me, and I love that. Because honestly, I don't know if I'd want to do it alone. That would be boring. Because sometimes you don't have customers, and I don't want to sit there by myself, Some people do, and that's great. It's just, I don't have the personality to sit there by myself all day long. It's just not me. Because I work from home. I don't have many people to talk to. I talk to my cats. No, I'm not crazy. I'm just saying. Talk to my cats. On occasion, I'll have mom to talk to, but most of the time I'm alone. So I already work from home. I'm already by myself. I don't want to go to a craft fair and not have anyone to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. Maybe I just sound crazy. It's okay. It's fine. It's whatever. So anyways, his response just really helped, and it calmed me down, and I was like, okay, we can do this. And then I was like, oh crap, I didn't take off from work. So I took off from work, added it to my calendar, and I was like, now I gotta reschedule another vet appointment with our kitten. But it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I'll figure that one out too. Oh, by the way, I haven't told you guys, Wes and I rescued a kitten. Actually, it kind of rescued us. So on June 8th, we were headed to our church for to work on the sound system, because Wes is our sound guy at the church. And so we were going to hook it up and everything. We had stopped at a few stores, and I was hungry. So we grabbed cookout, and on our way to the church, we pulled over to this picnic area that had gazebos. So we got out of the car, and he's like, hey, there's a cat. I was like, oh, that's cool. Not thinking anything of it. I'm a cat person, but I wasn't thinking anything of it, because typically you see stray cats, they don't like to come around. So we went and we sat down. It wasn't a cat. It was a super cute little kitten. And this kitten walked right up to us, meowing, and then started purring up a storm. Poor thing was left by itself on the side of the flippin' road. Who does that? Who does that? Anyway, sorry. So, I know Wes is allergic, so I didn't ask him. But he mentioned keeping him if it was alone. And we looked everywhere, because I really wanted him to find its mama, because he was really young. And so we looked around, we looked under the gazebos, even down at the creeks. There's a little creek area nearby. No mama found. And I was like, we can't leave him alone. Wes is like, no, let's take him. I'm like, are you sure? Because he's allergic, and I know that, and I understand that. He does take allergy pills, but still. He's like, yeah, let's take him. I'm like, great, I was hoping you were going to say that. Like, I didn't want to leave him alone. I didn't want to put him down. And so we put him in the car, and we continued on to the church. So we drove to the church, and I text Mom, because I don't live far away from our church. Well, Wes does, and I stay with him sometimes. quite a bit actually. That's okay. But I technically live with mom and dad still, because it's just never been, it's never made financial sense to me to move out before I was married, so I just haven't. Anyways, so I text mom and I was like, hey, do you have a box or something I can put a kitten in so we can take him home later? Because otherwise he's just out in my car, my new car. And so mom was like, yeah, sure, give me a sec. So we get to the church and I was like, we can't leave him in the car. I was like, no, let's just bring him in. I'm like, if he makes a mess, we'd have to clean it up anyway, so sure. So I took him into the church, and this cute little kitten was just running all over the place, and he's happy, and he's purring, and he's running up to Wes, he's running up to me, and just craving love and affection, and I'm like, poor thing, he shouldn't have been alone. So anyway, we finished at the church, or while we're still working, mom comes, she brings us a box. She brought him she brought him a little thing of kitty food, like a little, it's kind of like a little can, but it's actually plastic. This little, I think they're Shiba cans, you know what I'm talking about? If you're a cat owner, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so she brought me that and fed him, and she was like, what are you going to call it? And we were like, well, kind of hard to tell if it's a boy or a girl right now. And well, we were like, we don't know what to call it because we don't know what it is. And so she looked, she's like, I think it's a boy. So I was like, well, he already fit the perfect name. So we found it at a gazebo. So our plan was, if it was a girl, to call it Gazelle. Gazebo, Gazelle. But if it was a boy, call it Bo. Gazebo, Bo. We have Bo. It's a boy. So then we brought him home. Well, we stopped at the Dollar Tree. We got some treats and some little toys for him to play with and stuff so he doesn't get bored. And we brought him home, and he was running around like crazy, but he was happy. And until we got like a little pen or something to put him in, because we have to keep him outside, we didn't want him running away until he got used to us and, you know, understood that this is home. We're not abandoning you. We're not hurting you. We want to love you and raise you, and you're a part of our family now, so you can't go anywhere. So we wanted to keep him safe. So until we got him a small pen, we kept him in a crate. We did let him out. We let him run. We let him play. We gave him plenty of food and water. He had a litter box, so he was safe. Kept him in the garage. No big deal. We get this pen within like a couple days. Put him in it. He loves it. Where he's so tiny, he can get up, he can run around on the top, and it doesn't topple over on him. No problem. Well, then Wes was like, I think he's starting to outgrow it. I'm like, no. He's like, we need a bigger pen. I'm like, okay. So we found a bigger one to put just in the backyard. This one we don't move. We just leave it in the backyard. We move it to mow and then put it back. And so, we keep him in this pen when, you know, it's overnight now, because the other one started collapsing on him because he didn't realize he got big. So he tried to climb on the side and it would kind of cave in. But this one, he has plenty of space to roam, to run in it. It's like a big hexagon, and there's a top on it so he can't get out. It has shade. It has mesh as well. It's like it's completely covered on top, but half of it's just mesh. The other half is kind of like black fabric. And it's just Just realized that the window and the lights kind of blinded up back here. Sorry. Anyway, so it's just big, it's spacious. He's able to run and play and just enjoy being there. And then during the day, especially when I'm working from here, we leave him out all day. We do put him in his pen at night so that he is safe. We just started leaving him outside at night. I wasn't happy about it because he's still really, really young and very, very little. But wife's like, it's okay, he's fine. He's protected. He's in this cage, like, it's not really a cage, but he's in this pen. He'll be fine. So that's what we're doing. But we were rescued by this adorable little kitten because he found us and we love him. Anyway, sorry, I don't know where I got off on that long tangent, but yeah. So for the craft fair, I didn't think I had to worry about a Friday event. So we had already scheduled an appointment for him on Friday the 30th, and now I'm like, I can't make it to that. Now I gotta reschedule that. So that's gonna be interesting, but it's okay. What do you think? Is it kind of coming along? Like, it's supposed to be like the buffalo check plaid. So I'm kind of hoping it continues looking good. But like I said, it's going to be a pumpkin, so it's going to be like folded in. So it's going to be like this, but we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, so I gotta do that. That's okay. That's not a problem. Take care of our little kitten and still go to the craft fair. All in one. Just not in the same day. Okay. So, totally just spaced out. Oh, so like I said, I don't know if I have enough for the craft fair. Because I really don't know if I have enough for the craft fair. Like, I'm freaking out that I don't have enough. This doesn't look right. No, because that's supposed to be on top of that, so it ends with okay, yeah, I wasn't supposed to do that. So I changed to the black. I was supposed to leave it at sorry, he ordered expensive stuff. He's replacing our internet system, and we had it delivered, and the delivery did not go well, like at all. Okay, but anyways, like I was saying, I switched to black and realized I wasn't supposed to switch to black. I was supposed to leave it at white. So I was thinking that the pattern, because I hadn't read it yet, because I know most people will tell you not to do this. But this is the best way I have found to do things, because when I was learning to read patterns, I would read the entire pattern and be like, oh crap, I can't do this at all. And then just give up. So now, after years of crocheting, I started when I was 6. I'm currently 28, so I've been doing it for at least 22 years, roughly. And so now, I know that when I go to do a pattern, all I need to look at is what hooks I need, what yarn I need, and if anything else is needed, to make it. Because I know that if I start reading the pattern and I continue reading it, that I'm going to overthink it and be like, I don't have time for this, or I can't make this, or I can't do that stitch, and just give up. So I didn't do that. So I really just looked at the pictures. I looked at the I read the first line of the pattern. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, no big deal, I can do that, I can chain 56. Then as I was continuing the pattern, when I started, I was doing stuff like this, where it'd be like this and that, and then I was like, crap, that's not how it goes, because it's 2 rows with the same color on top, and then it'll be these 2 on top, and then it'll be another one of these, and then another one of these, and I was like, that makes more sense. So I didn't really need to switch rows. Or switch colors yet, I guess I should say. And another thing that some people do, some people don't, it really just varies by the crocheter. What I like to do, I'm going to show you here. So when I connect my colors, I connect in the last stitch. So let me do this row, or this next section. And yes, I'm just crocheting over the white. So see the white here? Here's my stitch, here's the white. So I'm wrapping my yarn, because it's a half double crochet. I'm inserting it over the white. So when I switch colors, on the last part of the stitch, instead of grabbing the black and then pulling it through and then finding a way to add the white, I just switch to white and make that be the last part of the stitch, if that makes sense. It just makes for an easier look, and I do it with my granny squares too. Some people don't. A lot of people don't, actually. I didn't do it like this for a long time. What started me doing this was I made a pillow that had a lot of color changes. And as I was going through that pattern, I was like, I am not cutting and weaving in this many ends. Like, no. So I did some research and I did some looking around, and I was like, this way makes sense. I'll just carry the yarn until I need to switch to it again. It's easy. It's easier than weaving in like a million ends, let me tell you. So I've done that. Okay, sorry. Anyways, so that's what I do. I just crochet over top of the color that I'm not using and hold it in place. And then sometimes it's seen. It depends on, what you're working with. And other times it's not. Honestly, to me, even if it's seen just a little bit, it's not like going to be like, oh, she carried that yarn, or she pulled that, or this yarn, there's a different color underneath. It's not going to be like that. Oh no, I've got a knot. It's not going to be like that. A lot of people, especially those who are not like crocheters or anything, are not going to know that you pull that yarn through that. Most people are not going to know. Most people are not going to know to look for that. They're not. So that's the way I look at things. Expert crocheters wouldn't even look for that. Typically, my mom taught me how to crochet. Well, in a way. She taught me a little bit. It's mostly just the chain down here and how to go from the chain to into certain things. My first project was actually a little hat. It was supposed to be big enough to fit me, but it ended up being kind of like a boat, and then I added frill to the end of it, so it kind of was like an odd shaped hat, but it was just because, one, it was the first project I did, two, I pulled it way too tight. So it was smaller than it needed to be, or I intended it to be. So you live and you learn though. But I didn't pull it apart, I didn't frog it. I just, honestly, right now I don't even know where that project is. But probably threw it away somewhere. Anyways, so she taught me a little bit, and then as I got older, I wanted to do other things. Like, I have an entire binder at their house full of crochet projects that I've either done or wanted to do, and I just haven't found the time. But here's how I started doing things. So, like I said, Mom taught me a little bit, and as I got older, I wanted to do other things, and Mom didn't know how to do them, so I Googled, how to make this, or is there a pattern for this? And I found a pattern and taught myself how to read the pattern. It's not hard. It's very, very easy. Taught myself the basic stitches, some of the most complicated stitches. I taught myself how to read the patterns, and then just boom, took off with it. It's easy. But you just gotta give it time. You just gotta work with it. Sometimes, there are times that I've started things and I'm like, gosh, what was I thinking? This is gonna take forever. And there's other times that I'm like, crap, that didn't take as long as I expected it to. That should have took a month. Like that, for example, that Taylor Swift dress I did, less than a week. Took less than a week. That is also with working a full-time job and with helping Wes at his. Because I didn't give up. I wanted to several times, but I didn't. And that's the thing. It's just, the house thinks I left. I did not, but the house thinks I left, which is why you can see behind me now. But I'll say this, and then that's probably where I'll end it. But crocheting is not difficult. It is very, very easy. But you just gotta give it time. If you really want to learn, you can have someone teach you. Shoot, I wouldn't care. If you want to learn, let me know, and I will do a video breaking things down and showing you step by step what to do. It's easy. It's really, really simple. And once you start, you'll become addicted to yarn shopping and filling all the yarn and wanting an entire collection in your house. That's okay. I have 2 collections, one here and one at my parents' house. That's okay. And 2, you will become addicted to seeing the yarn create something beautiful. Something beautiful. Something you never imagined you would create. The possibilities are endless once you start. It's endless. And it's a beautiful way to de-stress or to take your mind off things. And it's really great if you have anxiety too, or if you're depressed, because it's what a lot of people consider a mindless activity. Because it's just, you don't really have to think about it. I mean, if you're following a pattern, yes, sometimes you gotta think a little bit, but other than that, you can literally sit and put on your favorite movie and just crochet. Watch a little TV, you're crochet. It's not that easy. It is easy. It's not that difficult. But it's really, really fun to do. And I have actually had a few people ask me to teach them. Timing and schedules haven't corresponded yet, but I would love to teach somebody how to crochet. So if anyone is interested, like this video and comment down below and let me know. And if there's anything y'all want to talk about or discuss, let me know that as well. I love talking to you guys, and I love taking you along on my day or what's going on in my life. And a lot happens, and sometimes life gets in the way. It's why I can't update on a regular basis. And so I do what I can when I can. So like I said, just let me know. And I would love to teach someone how to read a pattern and do a simple half double crochet stitch, or any of them, really. So comment down below and let me know if you would love to learn, and we'll do a video, okay? Thanks. Bye.